Okay, hopefully you're on page 71 of your textbook. The first thing that we're going to look at is the real world links, okay? And if we read the scenario here, it tells us that this place is selling individual game tokens or packages. And here's the chart that kind of goes through the breakdown. The first thing I want you to do is talk with your team members and see if you can figure out how what each side is going up. So if the number of packages, how are we going up each time there? And then the price, how is the pricing increasing each time over on the right-hand side? Pause the video now to have that discussion with your team, please. Okay, now that you've discussed it, hopefully you saw that for every one package, the price goes up $5. Okay, so keeping that in mind, please pause the video now and try to answer number 1. How many token packages can you buy with $20 and how many for $25? There's 2 ways you could do this. You could either kind of figure it out in your head, or you can continue on this chart if you'd like to. Okay, go ahead and pause the video now and see if you can figure it out with a partner. All right, hopefully you saw that if you continued, 4 packages would be $20 and 5 would be $25. So here, how much can you buy with $20? I'm going to go here on the dollars. Here's 20, and so I can buy 4. Okay, same thing with 25. I can buy 5. And my explanation is that each package goes up by 5. So I just have to go up by 5 each time and then look over at how many packages I have. All right, go ahead and look at number 2. It says for number 2, what is the unit price? Okay, so the first thing you have to do is remember what is unit price. Pause the video now, please, and talk with your team about what is unit price. Okay, now that you've talked, hopefully you remembered unit price means 1. So pause the video now to talk about what is the unit price. Okay, hopefully with your team you saw that for one package it is $5. I also would know that because each time it goes up by 5, right? And so for my unit rate, or the way that it goes up, is by 5 each time. Okay, now for the next one, how much would it cost to buy 6 token packages? Go to number of packages, go to 6 and see what the price would be. I could do 6 times 5 is 30. I could have also just added another one on to my graph here, or I could have done equivalent ratios. And I know one package is $5, so I don't need one package, I need 6 packages. So then I have to say, okay, what times 1 is 6? And obviously 6 times 1 is 6. So remember, what you do to the top, you have to do the bottom. So 5 times 6 is 30. So it would be $30. Okay. All right, go ahead and turn the page, please. Okay. Now let's look at our first example here. It says that Heritage Middle School has 150 students. So the first way that we can solve our problems is by using a bar diagram. So the whole thing is worth 150, right? Okay, then it says 2 out of 3 students in Mrs. Mason's class prefer gel toothpaste. So 2 out of 3, that means we have 3 total. 2 are gel. That means 1 would not be gel, right? Okay, then I would have to decide, okay, if I have 150 divided into 3 boxes, obviously that would be 50, okay, in each box. And then I could look, okay, here's gel. Gel is 100, 50, and 50. Not gel is 50, that's it. Okay. The other way you could have done it is using the equivalent fractions. The people that like gel is 2, total is 3, 2 out of 3. So then I have to say, okay, now if there's 150 students, so now the total is 150, how many like gel? Well, I have to know that 3 times 50 is 150. What you do the bottom, you have to do the top. So then I would do 2 times 50, which is 100. Okay. Number 2 is just another example. So if you get stuck, you can also use number 2 to help you. Okay. But I want to go over here to the got it part. Okay. So it says in a survey, 4 out of 5 people preferred creamy over chunky peanut butter. There's 120 people total. Okay. So the first thing I want to do is let's do the method 1 first, the bar diagram. So right now I want you to put up that there's 120 people. Okay. Then draw your rectangle. And now I want you to talk with your team about how many you would break the rectangle into. How many are there total? Talk with your team. Pause it now. Okay, go ahead and unpause it. Hopefully you knew that there was 5 that you would need to break it into. Okay. Our next thing that we would need to do, because it's 4 out of 5 people. So the next thing that we need to do is decide, okay, how many, so 4 is creamy, 1 is chunky. Well, how did I get 24? Yes, I know that if I divide 160 into 120 into 5 boxes, 120 divided by 5 is 24. So I have 24 in each box. Okay. Now, the question was, how many prefer creamy? Okay, so I count up 24, 24, 24, 24, or I can do 24 times 4, and that would be 96. Okay, the other way, using the equivalent ratios, method 2, I have 4 creamy and 5 total. Okay, 4 creamy, 5 total, 4 out of 5, right? And I need to know for 120 how many. So I need to find 5 times what is 120. Again, I could divide if I didn't know, and that would give me 24. So if I multiply the top, 4 times 24 equals 96. So that would be my answer, 96. Okay. All right, what I'd like for you to do now is go ahead and pause the video, answer any questions. Okay. All right, now that we kind of understand A, let's work on B. Okay, we found out that 12 out of every 15 people in the United States prefer eating a restaurant over home. There's 400 people, so 400 is our total. And now we have to divide this into 15. Sorry, I made my rectangles a little too big there. Okay, so I have 14, and I want to divide that into our, 400, and I want to divide that into our 15 boxes. So then I have to do 400 divided by 15. Hmm, 15 goes into 400 2 times, that's 30. 10 left over, and then another 0. Uh-oh, 15 does not go evenly into 100. How else could I do this? All right, because I can't use the method number 1, so now I'm going to use method number 2. Okay, so to get 20 over 15, 12 over 15. Okay, I can reduce that, can't I? I can divide the top and the bottom by 3 because 3 is my greatest common factor. So then that would be 4 over 5. All I did was reduced my ratio, right? Okay, so 4 out of 5. Okay, and this is the restaurant people, and this is the total. Okay, well, I don't want 5 as the total. I want 400. Okay, so now I want you to figure out how to use my equivalent ratios to finish up this problem. Go ahead and pause the video now to figure that out. Okay, hopefully you saw that you need to multiply times 80. That 5 times 80 is 400. So then I multiply the top times 80, and now you have it. It's